What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Eddy Live Show, episode number 195. I'm here with my man, Tim Bentley. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing great, man. Thanks for having me.
I appreciate it, man. I've been wanting to get you on the podcast for so long. Been working on so many different projects, but I'm glad that we waited till now because it seems like working on the best one right now.
Yeah, everything's blowing up, man.
Yeah, I
It's
appreciate.
amazing. I know you've been with me for like a year and a half,
Yeah,
even
man.
more than that.
Yeah,
And
man. It's a long time.
it is a long time. Things are really starting to pick up and speed up. So
I love it,
it's a good
man. I
time.
appreciate it. I appreciate
Yeah.
you keeping me in the loop. Maybe before we dive into that, you could just give you like a little self introduction on yourself and then we'll jump in. Cool.
Yeah, sounds good. Like Eddy said, my name's Tim Bentley. I go online by Zeus One. Over the last 5 years, I've been working on platforms that benefit the average person. I'm a serial entrepreneur, was in brick and mortar plumbing business for 20 years in Phoenix, Arizona. When the housing market crashed in '07, we took
Okay.
that opportunity to move our family out of that megapolis and
Okay.
we moved to a small town in Colorado. And
Oh,
ever since then, I just kind of been working online, building and launching programs that help the average person. So, and then it's just kind of grown from there. The last project that I've been building out was Zeus Chariots, right? Play to earn, player versus player chariot racing game for Web3 that we're going to be using for a lot of humanitarian projects on the back end to help communities around the world. And then that's just kind of grown from there. I've tapped into a group of people that are out to change the world from a really altruistic point of view. They're not in it for the money. They're in it because this world is broken. The system is broken. And we want to do what we can to help fix it or replace it for some people.
100%, man. Yeah, what you said is it's like music to my ears because, yeah, I've been following you for a while and definitely been working on a bunch of different things. You mentioned obviously Zeus's Chariots. That's something I'm involved in as well. I do get people ask me about it, and I would maybe you can explain a little bit more about Zeus's Chariots before we deep dive into the other ones.
Sure. So I came up with the concept for Zeus's Chariots off the heels of my DeFi program, Zeus's Bounty.
Uh huh.
And basically, I wanted to take advantage of the momentum that the play to earn space was building with games like Axie Infinity and
Yeah.
Gods Unchained and all these other games that are coming out. The play to earn space is in its infancy, right?
Yeah.
Potentially one of the largest industries in the world over the next 5 to 6 years. And right now, it's just a little baby, right? So the whole world is going to be changing the paradigm of how we engage with movies, commercials, music, games. It's all going to change. It's all going to go from paying to be involved to getting paid to be involved. So when I was working on Zeus's Chariots, I'm an old school guy, right? I'm like 103 years old.
You look great, brother.
Yeah, thanks, dude. I appreciate it. It's our healing technology. It keeps me in shape.
That's
Uh,
one of the questions.
yeah, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Um, I'm an old school gamer, so I grew up like obviously I played Pong,
Oh
right?
yeah.
Mario Brothers, Donkey Kong. When games started to get super complex, like when my kids were growing up and we were playing Madden, and it would
Okay.
take me longer to set up my character than to play the game, and then I would just get stumped by my 10-year-old. I'm like, video games are stupid.
I
I don't want to play
love
any more
Madden.
video
I
games.
remember Madden. I mean, I would play with like legit people that loved football, and I would just be hail the Hail Mary every time. Just that one seems to work all the time. So just keep
Yeah,
throwing the Hail Mary. Yeah.
that's funny. Yeah, for me,
Yeah.
it was like, he intercepted me every time I threw the ball, or score would be like 73-2 or 3.
Okay.
So
Hmm.
when I was designing Zeus's Chariots, I wanted to make it simple and fun. So there was a space kind of missing in the play to earn.
Yeah.
And that is a high action packed, quick in and out type of game that doesn't take hours to play. Right. So a lot of these games, they take a long time. They're very involved.
Yeah.
One of the most popular games that was out there was Axie Infinity.
Yep. For sure.
And they had like over 3 million daily players at one point. And
Unbelievable.
then last year, when crypto crashed, their economy crashed, right? Their
Yeah.
Smooth Love Ocean token went down to nothing. It
Yeah.
was no longer worth playing the game because the only reason people were playing the game was because they were making money.
Yeah.
The game wasn't that fun. It wasn't
Yeah.
that good.
That's
And when that happened, people stopped playing. So first and foremost, we wanted to make the game really, really fun to play. Whether there was no money involved or not, we wanted to make it really fun. So that was the main focus, making it fun for everybody.
yeah. Yeah.
But you are going to be able to earn money playing Zeus's Chariots. You're also going to be able to play for free and earn money. So we're going to share our ad revenue with our free players. And as people around the world are playing for free, they're going to be getting listed on our global ranking system where we're going to track all their stats. And
Beautiful.
then we'll have a pool of investors that want to come over and sponsor those free players into the paid races for a revenue share. So it's a way to get both sides of the equation involved. We can get players who really can't afford to put money into a game for the
Sure.
opportunity to win. They can play for free. They can earn something during the day. You know, you race 10 or 20 times, you're going to earn $1 or $2 from the ad revenue, something like that.
Yeah.
But you're also going to get ranked, right? And then somebody that's really not interested in playing the game but has money can come over and go, you know what? Eddy's the 7th ranked player in the world.
Let's
I
go.
think I'm going to put $1,000 to Eddy today and put him into the races and see if we can't both make 700 or 800 bucks.
That's beautiful.
Right.
I love that. And one thing that you mentioned really quick before you keep going, I don't want to cut you off. Yeah, one of the things that I noticed with sort of a lot of the play to earn games and all the sort of the crypto style games is they're boring. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They were like games that you wouldn't play. You know what I mean? Like there would be no way that you'd want to play that game, you
Yeah.
know, unless if you weren't getting paid. So yeah, I think that, you know, there's a big gap between a game like that, you know, as opposed to, you know, one of the new games that comes out, even like a cell phone game that comes out, it can be reasonably fun. But some of the crypto games that came out, you know, I tried even Axie Infinity. You know, I tried. I'm like, let me jump on that, you know, because you know, I play video games with my daughter once in a while, and let's check it out, right? And we'd play that, and in like a couple minutes, she looked at me, and she's like, "You you expect me to play this? Like what?" I
Uh,
was like, "I guess not." Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. So I actually had I have two boys, 23 and 19.
Okay.
And
My
I
daughter's
had
7 years
my
old.
19-year-old
Uh huh.
download Zeus Cherries because we have beta versions right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And he downloaded it and he was playing it. And I was explaining to him all the different features and things that it was going to have in it. And he said, wow, I could see where this would be really fun. And I'm like, really? Cool.
That's great. Yeah, you got
Did not
the
expect him
approval.
to say that. I mean,
You're like,
he's one of my best advocates, but at the same time, he doesn't like have much faith in the things that are coming out of our studio and our lab. And you know, when you live the life of an entrepreneur and a platform builder like I do,
yeah,
it takes a long time to make things happen. And you know, as you're saying to your kids, you know, this is going to happen and this is going to happen, and then a certain amount of time goes by and none of that happens.
yeah.
All of a sudden the faith is totally lost.
100%, man. I
Right.
also restaurant owner, right? We, you know, we did the restaurant. It's been like 15, 16 years. And, you know, even, and not just my daughter, you know, even with my wife, I'd be like, okay, and you have the big New Year's Eve party. And then it's like, you know, you have the cheers and I'm like, this year, this is going to be the year.
Right.
And then eventually it gets to the point where she's like, hey, you say that every year. I'm like, but it's coming. Just, it's coming. Keep
Yeah.
the faith.
Exactly. Keep the faith. I mean,
Yeah.
and that's all you can really do is keep the faith, right? Because if we don't have faith in what we're doing, we're going to
Mm.
quit.
Yeah.
Right? We've had people along the way that quit. They couldn't do this anymore. They're
Yeah.
not involved in any of the projects. They couldn't sustain themselves.
Yeah.
We live a life of simpleness right now. You know, over the last year, very little income coming in. Everything that comes in goes back to the business.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. I
because
know that
we
life.
want to bring these changes and these things to the world, and
Yep.
it's worth it. It's worth the sacrifice for me. I don't need a lot of things. I live a pretty simple life. I don't need a lifestyle upgrade. I'm looking to make changes in the world that really matter to people,
Yeah.
not fatten my own pockets and drive a Lamborghini and have a yacht.
I agree with you, man. You know, I also like whenever you speak things like this, man, it really it hits close to home for me because yeah, we started from a stand, right, and we grew it all the way up into, a pretty well established, nice restaurant now. But I remember, probably the first 10 years, it's just like you're breaking even for like 10 years, and you're like,
Yeah,
man, you
it's
can't go
brutal.
home. You miss your best friend from high school. You've made all these plans, and you're like, when you get married, we're gonna do. I can't do anything. He's getting married. I can't go. My nephew has this, big graduation ceremony. I can't go. All this stuff. Say like my parents have a big, like a big event or something, and it's like I can't go
Yeah,
because there's no money. And it's just like no,
yeah,
no, no. People say, well, why are you doing it if there's no money? I'm like, because I know one day there will be. I do love it, and when I was working, for somebody else, I actually, you know it seems to be the cycle. You work for someone else, you save up, and then you're like, okay, now I'm going to try to make it on my own. And so I was already there, so it's like if I go back, it doesn't really make sense. So that's when I started
yeah,
to look at things like crypto, and I tried some stocks and stuff like that. It's a little bit tougher, but crypto seems a little bit easier for me to get into, and that's kind of how I met you. And yeah, I appreciate it, man. And I'm excited about Zeus's chariots and all the stuff that's happening.
yeah. Thanks, I appreciate it. Yeah, crypto is a great space. And the play to earn is an infant, like I mentioned.
Yeah,
You know, and we're going to put a lot of things into this game that are going to excite people. So not only is it going to be fun to play, and you're going to have a chance to win some money, but you're also going to have a chance to win prizes and different things that we're going to be giving away through the collection of puzzle pieces as you're racing around the track.
I love it.
So there's going to be several different things for you to race for. Number one, you can race for points because point leaders going to advance to championship races end of the week, end of the month, end of the
Okay.
year, play
Yeah,
for a
that's
lot more
exciting.
money. You can race to just destroy other chariots and steal what they have.
I love that.
Okay. You can race for puzzle pieces because they're not just going to be placed on the track as you're going around it right in your way, right? It may be out of the way. Like if
Yeah.
you're collecting, maybe you're collecting something for a new Ninja motorcycle, right? And
Oh
you're trying
yeah.
to collect those puzzle pieces, and there's a Ninja piece on the board. You may sacrifice your position of being, first, second, or third in order to go out of your way to grab that puzzle piece.
Yeah, to
And then
get that
hopefully somebody
motorcycle.
doesn't destroy you and steal it.
Yeah, I love it. I,
Right?
I love it. I've been, I also a little bit of an old school gamer. I grew up. We started with like Atari, and then
Mm-hmm.
in television and stuff like that, and then through the Mario Brothers and stuff like that. And when I had my daughter, I said to myself, I've spent a lot of time. Maybe I might have wasted probably a lot of time playing all these console games. And so I said, okay, I sold all my PlayStation stuff. I'm like, okay, boom. And then I had my daughter. And then when she was really little, we took her to Canada, and all my nephews were playing Switch. And she just kind of like gravitated towards that. And she was just like, boom. And from
Mm-hmm.
then till now, she's hooked. Like she likes to, stream Roblox and, Minecraft
Right.
and stuff like that. She loves that stuff. And so I think that now it's different because if there's a play to earn sort of model, the things like Twitch and stuff like that, obviously that didn't exist when I was growing up, but now, mom will be like, yeah, nobody's gonna pay, no one's gonna pay you to play video games, get a real job. But now it's possible, so it's getting there. Yeah,
Yeah, it is possible. We hope our players can earn a good living
yeah,
playing Zeus Chariots because, if you're running around the track and you're earning a little bit of money, you're collecting puzzle pieces and prizes.
yeah.
Maybe you don't want that Ninja, right? Or maybe you don't want the new TV or whatever it is. So we're going to
Yep,
have a marketplace that you can go and you can list that item for sale,
yep.
and you can list it for sale at 75% the cost of retail.
Okay,
So it'll
okay,
always be
great.
25% off.
Okay,
Right, and that's gonna help feed our game because if
beautiful,
people are going to Zeus Marketplace just to get a good deal on a new Louis Vuitton purse or,
awesome.
a
Yeah,
TV or whatever it is, they're gonna get it for 25% off retail, and then the player is gonna make, triple their money, whatever they used to in order to collect that and
I
obtain that
love that.
prize. They can either keep it, right, or they can list it on our marketplace with just a click of a button.
I love that. I love, it's like an Amazon, but a better
Yeah.
price. And yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah,
I
that's
also,
our
yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry.
yeah, we're looking to kind of supplant Amazon.
I think it's great. Amazon, is massive here. There is kind of Amazon, but they ship here. But yeah, there's the Amazon equivalent. Like it's called PC Home. It's a similar thing out here. Yeah, but I think that the online purchases now it's massive. I mean, everybody buys anything online, and even if you're in a super not a supermarket, in like a electronic store or something. Uh, Me at least, if I'm looking at a TV, I've got the salesman telling me stuff. I'll just like step aside, pull up YouTube, and be like, reviews for this TV, and I'll check it all
Yeah.
out. So I think that everybody's connected nowadays, and I think that people being able to earn a living playing a video game is fantastic, man. That's beautiful. I love
Yeah,
it.
it really is. And it should be suitable for not only people in the US and other, tier one countries,
Yeah,
but the particular focus was really on like Taiwan and the Philippines
I
and
love it.
Malaysia
Yeah,
and places where, 10, 20, $30 a day
yeah,
really makes a difference for somebody,
big difference.
right?
Yeah,
Even though
for sure.
you can get more than that,
Yeah,
but that's kind of a baseline. Like if we could put $30 a day into the pockets of somebody on the other side of the world,
playing video
that's going to
games.
make a huge difference in their life,
Yeah, I
right?
think so. I think that Axie Infinity had like a huge, massive following in the Philippines where people would
Yeah,
just do that full time. I saw all these videos about it. Of course, this was pre crash, but
right.
yeah, I mean, it's not like it's going to stay crashed forever. Things are coming back up, and
No, it's
yeah,
not going to stay
good.
crashed
Yeah,
forever, and we're
yeah.
not going to tie our token to the decentralized crypto exchanges
Okay,
and
okay,
subject our community and our token to the fluctuations of the crypto market at large.
okay.
We're going to have stable tokenomics. So it's
That's
always
beautiful.
going to be the same price. That way, our economy doesn't crash and everybody just loses everything. So we
Yeah,
want to tie it to a stable, of course, over the last year, like even the stable coins have come
yeah,
unpegged,
for sure,
right?
for sure.
You're
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
what is really safe?
What are we
And
doing?
that's a great question.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
I planned on launching this game months ago,
yeah.
but as our vision grew, the game grew, right? And now all of a sudden, I've got all these pieces in there that I simply don't want to release the game with all of that in there, without all of that in there.
Sure,
We
sure.
need it all
Yeah,
because our main goal, yeah, it's great. I want to have players around the world earning money. We want to be a big success. We want to give away puzzles and
yeah.
prizes and
Hmm.
things of that nature. But the true intention of the game is really on the back end for our humanitarian causes.
Okay.
We have a real problem in this world. You know that 2 million hours a day is how much time is spent from people carrying water on this planet.
Oh, 2 million a day. Ooh,
2 million
did
hours a
not
day.
know that. Okay,
Kids aren't
okay.
going to school. Nobody's being productive. They're so busy carrying water. So we want to bring food, fuel, water, and money to communities around the world. And
Okay.
that's the true intention of this game, is the humanitarian aspect on the back end.
Yeah.
So I'm working with a global team of entrepreneurs that have access to world-changing advanced technologies.
Yes.
Okay. So my plan was to put these technologies into communities that really, really need it. Three in particular, right off the bat. It's each one of these is a 40-foot shipping container.
Okay.
One is a retractable windmill that produces
Okay.
up to 1,500 gallons a day of green hydrogen fuel,
Oh wow.
and it
Okay.
also mines cryptocurrency.
Oof. Nice.
Okay.
Double,
And then next
double,
to that,
double,
we
double
want to put
dipping.
another 40-foot shipping container that's outfitted for vertical hydroponic farming. And
Oh,
then a third one, which is a massive atmospheric water generator, pulling clean drinking water directly out of the air
wow.
without having to drill a well or go through the expense of pumping that water out of the well.
That's
So
amazing.
food, fuel, water, and money will
Yeah.
really make a difference to communities around the world. Money in people's pockets, them having fun playing a video game, that's an amazing front end, right?
Yeah.
That's amazing. I love it. But the true intention is helping humanity. I want
Yeah.
people to have fun. I want people to make money, but we're in a lot of trouble in this world, right? The power
Yeah.
structure that controls everything
Yeah.
is tightening their grip.
Yeah.
Access to clean drinking water is very limited. In a
Yeah.
lot of places, a bottle of Coke is cheaper than water.
Yes. It's unbelievable. It's funny because when I My family's from Mexico, so even when we go to Mexico, the food and then it's relative. It's of course it's very good. It's relatively cheap, right? Inexpensive,
Mhm.
especially when you go to sort of the areas where my family is from. But if you go out, and you're going to go and get some food at a taqueria or something like that, uh, the soda, the beer, the drinks are cheaper than the water, and it's
Yeah,
crazy. And that's just Mexico. That's like the neighbor to the U.S. It's crazy,
right.
And growing up, I always thought, how can it be cheaper? It's crazy. Yeah, mind
Yeah,
blowing stuff. Yeah,
yeah. It is crazy, man, and it's not right.
yeah, no,
Right.
yeah,
It's not right. So for a long time now, this planet's been run by the controllers that are all about greed and control and corruption, and
yeah,
it's rampant at every level, from governments to big institutions, right down to individuals,
yeah.
especially in the crypto world, right? It's like everything's a pitfall. You
Yeah,
never know when
the
something's going to
rug
be a
pull.
rug pull. It's just straight out Ponzi.
Yeah,
It looks good.
yeah,
People join every day and lose, I don't know, hundreds of millions daily to these
yeah.
scammers out there.
Yeah, it's the new scam, and then when there is something that's kind of a little more legit, like something legit, it's tough. I mean, even like something like Bitcoin. I have a couple of friends that are bankers and stuff, and investors, and they're like, no, 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 don't touch it. I'm like, but Bitcoin is Bitcoin, and they're like,
Right.
no, 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 don't even touch Bitcoin. It's like, really, that's yeah, it's tough, it's tough, but I think yeah, I think things like the food and the water, that's huge. I
Yeah.
love the hydroponic thing because that when once that I I don't know who invented that, but once that was out there and that was a common knowledge, I always thought, why isn't everywhere using that? Because instead
Yeah.
of having these massive fields, you could build up. It's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. And a lot of the reason for that is power consumption, right?
Okay.
Because the lights that it typically takes to grow
Okay.
food inside are
Okay.
expensive. But with the advent of LEDs, and they're
Yeah.
becoming more and more technologically advanced, consuming less power,
Yep.
putting off a broader, brighter spectrum of light, it
Okay.
makes growing indoors a lot more feasible.
Okay. Okay. Very cool. Yeah. I just quickly one more thing on chariots. I always I have a restaurant, so I'm always half of my job is entertaining, right?
Right.
So like it's a service business. That's what you do. So I'm always thinking of things like the chariots. You could have like Zeus's chariot parties. You would have there could be parties where restaurants and like groups of people could get together and have like the old school land party, but playing Zeus's chariots. Everybody making money, everyone having a good time. I'm really excited about the game.
Yeah, yeah, me too. There's a
Yeah,
lot of potential for what we can do here. It could even be in casinos, you
yeah,
know,
yeah. Beautiful.
like the slot machines, except it could be Zeus chariots.
I love it.
It's the same thing, and we do have an in with a lot of the casinos, even new casinos that are being built in the U.S. and abroad.
Amazing. I love
Um,
that.
so there's going to be a lot of avenues for us to spread this
That's
far
great,
and
man.
wide, and we're not going to do it until the time is right.
Yeah,
Right? I'm not
makes
going to
sense.
release a half a game. I'm not going to release before we're ready, because you only get one chance at launch,
100%. I agree. I agree.
and this is too important to just put out into the world and hope people see it and download it.
Yeah, exactly. No, I think we've been waiting, and I think now that things like the Zenith community has kind of taken it to the next level, I think we should just take as long as we have to. Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. With these new opportunities that have presented itself and fallen into our lap, so to speak, it really gives us a chance to build out exactly what we want.
yeah, I agree 100%. So transitioning, speaking of are we still calling it the Zenith community, right? The parallel
We're the
community.
parallel society.
Okay. So
Yeah.
if someone were to ask you what that was all about, what would you say?
So the parallel society, or the Zenith Society, is a community of people that care more about others than they do for themselves
Hmm.
intrinsically. And we also believe that by helping others get what they want, we too will get what we want.
That's the
Um,
golden rule. Yeah.
we think that the world has been ruled by corruption and greed and selfishness for far too long, especially at the top corporate levels, where
Yeah.
everything is hoarded and sold to the highest bidder,
Yeah.
right? They think we have a population problem on this planet, and
Yeah.
we do. There's not enough of us, right?
Okay.
The only problem is we don't live in harmony with the earth, right? We use drilling and pulling and exploding in order to get the things that we need to survive on this planet,
Okay.
when everything is already right here in abundance all around us every day. We don't need to be raping the earth. We don't need to be burning these fuels. We don't need the combustible engine to explode molecules to propel us forward. There's a lot better ways to do things. And I'm working with a group of people that have access to world changing technologies that will actually make a difference on this planet,
Yeah.
from power amplification to atmospheric water generation to new construction technologies. There's things that we can do to make this place better for everybody.
Okay.
And we're starting that in Africa. Um,
Yeah, I was gonna say, how did it start? So you starting with the Zeus, the chariots, and then you started to meet more people. So how did the transition be like? We've got this game, and then all of a sudden we've got this basically society to help change the world. How did that happen?
yeah, it kind of happened organically,
Okay.
right? Which is the best way for things to happen. I started working with one of our NFT holders, Kyle Dunn,
Yeah.
last year. Um, we worked for a while going back and forth about all these different things that he has access to. Kyle's been working for like 2 years, gathering all these technologies, all these companies, looking for funding for them, getting a little equity in them along the way.
Yeah.
And so I started working with Kyle last year. Sorry, got an itch.
Hey man,
And
my daughter gave me a cold this today, and now
oh,
it's getting late,
nice.
and I'm like, woof, what's going on? Yeah.
Yeah. And so we started working together last year. And first we were looking at different tokenomics and the coin. And I'm like, I don't know. There's a lot of rulings coming down by the SEC.
Sure.
I don't want to really be involved in anything that might be considered a security.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm not interested in creating securities fraud.
Yeah.
So we went through multiple versions and then we kind of scrapped that whole idea. And then it just kind of grew from there. And
Okay.
we're working with a company called Green Infra Group,
Yep.
and they have a lot of access to technologies, as well as a lot of other technology partners. We're kind of bringing them under one umbrella.
Okay.
So we have power amplification technology that, it's almost like perpetual energy. It's not self-producing. It needs seed power.
Okay.
Um, but it's something that will change this planet.
Very close. Okay.
And we have construction technology that speeds up construction like by 50, 60%. We have
Wow.
concrete technology that the concrete can actually store power and the
That's
building can draw off of it. Right.
That's wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we had put in a bid for a $72 billion infrastructure project in Namibia,
Uh-huh.
Africa,
Yeah.
project
Wow.
called Cape Freya. It's
Yep.
basically building Dubai on the west coast of Africa.
I love it.
And just a couple of weeks ago, we got that project. The contract is signed. They're ready for us to come out there and start working.
Okay.
But then we had another segment of our team go to Zanzibar
Yep.
and Tanzania. So Zanzibar is on the east coast of Africa. It's a tropical paradise that's basically underdeveloped.
I've Googled it, man. Once you mentioned it, you said Google it. And I said, yeah, you know what? I will. And I Googled it. It looks like the Maldives, it's
Yeah,
beautiful. Yeah.
exactly. Crystal clear water, just
Yeah.
beautiful, great temperatures. So we went there to bid on a bridge from Zanzibar to Tanzania, from the
Okay.
island to the mainland. It's a 26-mile bridge.
Wow. Big
Okay.
one.
But
Okay.
our bridge isn't just a bridge for cars to travel over. Our bridge is going to be producing power, right, for
Okay.
both countries. We're going to have a lot of our technologies on that bridge.
With like
So
the power storing concrete, stuff like that. Yeah. Okay.
yep, the
Okay.
retractable windmills that can
Oh, wow.
produce all kinds of stuff.
Okay.
So not only did we get the bridge, which was like a $45 billion project,
Wow.
we got an
Okay.
entire country. We
Okay.
got an entire country. They basically told us, you guys can build whatever you want.
Wow. Okay.
Whatever you vision, you guys can build. And then we got basically unlimited funding for it.
Ooh,
right? It's
that's
not in the millions, not in the billions, but it starts with a T,
it starts with a
and that's
T.
how much funding we got. So in 2 weeks, we're all going back to Zanzibar to begin this construction process. It's probably going to be a 30 to 40 year build out
Okay.
for Zanzibar and Tanzania.
Yeah.
But that's just one spot. Like we
Yeah.
have power purchase agreements from a dozen other African nations. We have commitments from them to build smart cities,
Okay.
right? So we're going to be bringing all of this green technology to Africa in all the different nations.
That's
And
beautiful.
we're going to help bring them out of the poverty stricken environment that they've been forced into
Yeah.
with the foot of the world elite on their neck,
It seems to be.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
The
Yeah.
only way Africa can get ahead is if they take on debt from the world banking system,
Okay.
right? But Africa is one of the richest nations on the planet as far as assets in the ground,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. For sure. For
So
sure. That's where all the gems and stones all come from, right? Yeah.
yeah,
I believe.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
for example, Zimbabwe, right?
Okay.
Zimbabwe is one of the poorest countries on this planet. Like literally, you can get a Zimbabwe note that's worth like a billion, right? I have a
Really?
billion Zim in one note, right? Their
Okay.
currency
Wow.
is so deflated, it's worth nothing.
Oh, sad.
But
Yeah.
yet
Yeah.
they have some of the biggest diamond reserves in all of the planet,
Okay.
right?
Okay. Yeah.
So now what's happening in Africa and other parts of the world
Uh huh.
is when the U.S. delegates and the world bankers come to them and say, yeah, we'll give you $5 billion to help bring you out of this. We just need your mineral rights and your water rights and your people.
Yeah.
Well, now they're starting to
We just
stand
need
up and
everything.
go,
Shoot. Yeah.
no, no, we don't need your money. Especially in Ghana, right? The king
Okay.
of Ghana stood up and said, no, we don't want you here, right? They've discovered a lot of assets in the ground in Ghana,
That's
and
great.
we can help these countries. So one of the technologies that we have access to is a satellite that uses nuclear magnetic resonance, like an MRI
Okay.
machine,
Okay.
but it can see up to 8 miles into the earth, below the
Wow.
surface of
Okay.
the
Yeah.
earth, and under the ocean as well. So we can
Wow. Okay.
pinpoint with precision where a country's assets are located and how much of them. The only thing we can't do is tell the quality of it while it's in the ground,
Gotcha. Okay. Okay.
right?
Wow.
So
That's amazing.
we
That's
can go
amazing.
in, we can identify oil reserves, gold deposits, anything else, anything on the periodic table. This thing
Anything.
will
Wow.
identify
Okay.
anything. And then we can actually monetize those assets for them without them ever pulling them out of the ground. Okay, as long as they're in
Okay.
the ground and they're verified, we can actually monetize that note and we can get the money needed to build the infrastructure that that country needs
Okay. Without them
without
having to
ever having
go
to
and
do it.
through
Yeah.
that process you were just saying. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, which
That's
is
amazing.
huge
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
Zanzibar and Tanzania in particular, they've never had a geological survey done. They used similar
Okay.
technologies back in the 60s and 70s to map out their lands with the brush and the hills and the fields and all of that, but
Yeah.
never anything to identify any of their resources in the ground.
Okay.
So
Wow.
we basically changed their country with one phone call with their Ministry of Mines and our technology. And so now we're going to be able to come over there. We're going to be able to scan their ground. We're going to be able to identify any oil deposits, any gold deposits, any natural gas,
Wow.
anything at all. And we're going
Yeah.
to help be able to bring those nations into first world country statuses.
Oh, well, that's amazing.
Yeah. Like in the next 10 years, Zanzibar should be a massive tourist attraction.
Beautiful. I love that. Uh,
Yeah.
that's so huge because yeah, I mean, if they've never had it scanned, they probably sitting on like trillions of dollars in assets there, right? That's amazing.
Yeah, probably trillions. We've got one piece of property that this company has scanned. They found $7 trillion worth of gold.
Wow, that's incredible.
It is. What's even more
Oh,
incredible is that piece of land is for sale for $150 million.
okay, so did they buy
Right,
it? I
and,
mean,
and
yeah.
and the people
Wow.
that own it, they have no clue.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
yeah, they told us if you could fund us and give us the 150 million, you guys can have 25% of the project.
Okay. Okay.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So, but
Yeah.
we won't wait 10 years for those assets to be mined. we're
Yeah.
probably just going to flip that property, right? We'd buy
Yeah.
it for 150. We'd verify the assets on the ground, get it certified, and then we'd flip it for a trillion or 900 billion or something like that.
Wow. That's massive. That's it's like flipping a house, right? That's
Yeah,
amazing. Wow.
it is amazing. And these poor
Yeah.
people, right? They're going to be super happy. Yeah, we just got 150 million
But
dollars for our property,
that's even,
and then
yeah.
a month
Well,
later, they're like, they sold it for what? 900 million, 900 billion.
wow. But I mean, even for one person, 150 is probably okay. That's
Yeah,
probably good
yeah, it
money.
really
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Wow.
this company's located probably $25 trillion worth of assets in the locations that they've scanned. So
Wow.
it's amazing technology. There was a company in the Nevada desert that was drilling for water for like 6 months in this location. They were about to give up.
Okay.
They went over there and they scanned the property. They found a 5 foot wide aquifer, 200 feet below the surface. Told them exactly where to drill, and they nailed it dead center on the first try.
Really? Wow.
Yeah,
So gone are the days of like just kind of drilling those holes and kind of digging for oil, when you seeing those old movies from like the 60s, the kind of
yeah. Yeah, they
that's
they
crazy.
can be
I don't know if
gone. I
that
mean,
still happens, but wow.
it cost $100,000 to scan a square mile.
Okay. Wow.
So it's not cheap.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, you got to move the satellite in space and all these other things that are involved with it. It's
Okay.
not cheap,
Yeah.
but it's certainly well worth it. If
For sure.
you're, in oil exploration or looking for gold deposits, then that's not that big of an expense.
I mean, you were talking about oceans as well. So I mean, you could find the sunken treasures and all that stuff if you
Yeah,
needed to, I
they
think,
did,
right?
man. The first image that I saw from this company was
Uh,
actually Kyle sent it to me, and I'm like, "What the heck am I looking at here?" He's like, "That's a shipwreck." He's like,
okay.
"Anywhere it says CB, that's a cannonball, right? Over here is
Wow.
the emeralds. Here's the gold bars." Like,
Wow.
it was crazy.
Wow.
Yeah,
It's like one of those movies, man. That's wow.
yeah.
That's
It
unbelievable.
was really cool.
Okay. Wow. And 8 miles deep. That's beautiful.
Yeah, and it is the most advanced scanning technology on the planet as far as being able to see into the earth. There are others
Okay.
that do it as well, and they can see like maybe a couple thousand meters,
Okay. Okay.
but they can't see 8 miles.
Wow. That's a big jump. A couple thousand meters to 8 miles. Beautiful.
Yeah, it is a big jump. So it's really great technology.
That's speaking of also technology, you mentioned a few times the healing technology and the Zeus healing centers and stuff like that. Maybe you could talk a little about that because
Sure.
that's great.
So, not only do we want to help heal the planet and heal
Mhm.
communities around the world and heal the earth, right?
Yeah.
We want to heal people too. We have access to some of the most advanced healing technologies on the planet.
Uh huh.
Um, you might have heard like med bed style technologies
Yep.
that kind of restore our bodies. That's basically what we have. So, our
Okay.
main healing technology is called SANZA, and it's a pulse electromagnetic field therapy.
Okay.
It's a German company. They've been doing research for like 30 years, and this technology is amazing. Um, our cells in our body begin to run low, right?
Yeah.
Just like our cell phone batteries.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
SANZA machine will recharge your cells. So I've seen the images of the blood work.
Okay.
So normally, through our normal day-to-day life, our blood cells, our red blood cells are kind of clumping together. They call them
Yep.
stacks. They
Okay.
clump together, they flow really slow. When they clump together, they trap our white blood cells, while all the free radicals you can just see spotted throughout the blood, not
Okay.
getting picked up by the white blood cells because the white blood cells can't move freely.
Okay.
So after a 15-minute session of laying on the Sansa mat, it breaks up all that clumping in our blood. It
Okay.
recharges the vital energy in every cell in our body, and our blood
Wow.
begins to flow normally again. The white blood cells
Wow.
can do their job, whether it's eliminating the free radicals or possibly picking up medications or whatever and delivering to the body. Your
Wow.
body can function as intended once we get the blood flowing correctly. And it's actually 4 therapies in once. There's a mat that you can lay on. You do
I've
that
seen that.
daily, once or twice a day.
There's some kind of a
And
wand as well. Yeah.
yeah, there's a laser light.
Okay.
So if you're using the sands on a regular basis, once or twice a day, you're probably going to slow down your aging. You're going to have amazing energy. You're
Everybody
not going to
wants.
get sick. You won't get cancer, Parkinson's, ALS. You're not
Wow.
going to get any of these inflictions. You're not going to get cancer because our body is running at optimal strength. So my
Okay.
partner, Karen, who has the rights to this technology for North America and the
Okay.
Philippines, her father started using this at 75 or
Okay.
78. He had COPD, prostate issues,
Gotcha.
diabetic, and anything else that comes with a 75 or 78-year-old
Sure,
person.
sure, sure. Of course, of
Right?
course. Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
now he's 95 and he
Okay.
doesn't know what pain is. And every year he gets more and more healthy.
Wow.
So we
That's
have the ability to live to 120, 130 years old, and we can do it pain-free, disease-free. We can remember who we are. We don't have to give all of our damn money to the pharmaceutical companies at the end of our life and get
yeah.
stuck into some care facility. We don't have to do that. We have the
Wow.
technologies to make people healthy.
Okay. Wow.
So that's one of our main products. And then another one that we're going to be doing is we're going to be building out these healing centers using
Yes.
EE systems, enhanced energy systems. And
Okay.
it's basically just a room full of computer screens that put off scalar waves and photon light.
Okay.
Our bodies have the ability to heal itself. We've all heard of stories of miraculous healing.
Sure.
Doctors will call it a miracle. Your cancer went away. That's a
Yeah.
miracle, whatever it is. Our bodies can do anything.
I believe it. I
When,
agree. Yeah. Yeah.
when you sit in a scalar field environment created by these systems,
Uh-huh.
that is the ideal environment for our bodies to be able to block out all the other noise and to begin to restore itself. So there's probably 150, 160 of these centers around the world. And the stories coming out of them are,
Oh,
people getting cured of cancer, lifelong debilitating diseases, chronic pain, blindness, no more blind, like
wow.
they can see again.
That's great. So there's centers already, about
There
150
are.
all over the world. Okay. Are they mostly in the States or are they all
Yeah,
Europe?
they're mostly in the States. There are some
Okay.
others around the world,
Okay.
but mostly in the States. They've been exploding since COVID.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I believe that obviously we live in duality, right?
Okay.
This world is a duality. You can't have cold without hot. You can't have
Sure.
pain without joy. You
Like
can't,
yin yang. Yeah. Yeah.
you have to experience both ends of the spectrum.
Sure.
So while there's this big push by the evildoers of the world for control
Okay.
and
Sure.
everything that they're doing to poison the world, there is an equal and opposite power on the other side, right? That is battling them.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, there has to be when
Yeah.
they poison billions of people,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? There has to be something out there, something out there that is the counter of that.
Yeah.
And that's what we are.
I love
That's
it.
what EE system is. That's what Sansa is. That's what everything is all about. We are the counter to the evil in this world.
I love it. Okay.
Yeah. So
I love that, man.
nobody needs to be going through the things. Everybody knows somebody now that is sick, right? It was bad enough before.
Yeah.
It was bad enough before, but now,
Yeah.
for whatever's happened, whatever they've done,
I don't
people are
know.
dying left and right.
Yeah.
It's really, really sad. We're working with some of the people in our inner circle. Part of our administration, our executive team, are in the music industry,
Okay.
hip hop and rap.
Love it.
And
Grew up with it.
in their circle of friends or family is Jamie Foxx.
I was just
Okay.
gonna say Jamie Foxx. Is this what is going on with Jamie Foxx? Because I've read so many different things, but
So
yeah,
from
please.
what we understand, he is paralyzed and blind from a blood clot in his brain from the
Yeah,
COVID vaccines.
I love Jamie Foxx. It's
Yeah.
crazy, and he's
So he was
super
pressured
healthy,
to take
super fit.
he was
Like
pressured
what?
to take the shot on a
Uh-huh.
movie that he was doing. He didn't want to do it, but they pressured him and he did it. And now he got a blood clot in his brain, and now he's stuck paralyzed and blind. But
Man.
I think we can help him.
Oh,
I think
that.
our technology is so powerful that we could actually bring him out of his paralyzed state and restore his eyesight.
Wow.
So, and we do have access to be able to do that. So,
Okay. That would be. amazing. Because first of all,
it
everybody
all
loves
starts
Jamie
with a
Foxx.
quantum reading, right? It
Yeah.
all starts
Okay.
with a quantum reading. So,
Okay.
Eddie, I don't know if you know this or not, if you know much about quantum physics or anything like that, but
I don't know much about it, but
there's no
go ahead.
separation between any of us. Like
Okay.
literally, there's no separation. We are one thing, and there is a
Okay.
quantum field that ties us all together.
Okay.
Okay. So we have a machine that can do a quantum reading on you. You can
Okay.
answer about a 10-minute questionnaire that we ask you. And then
Okay.
this machine will find you in the quantum field and it will inspect your energy field and your body and give you a report that will blow your mind. It will know everything about you. It will tell you things about yourself that you didn't even know.
Wow. Okay. I mean,
Okay?
that's definitely interesting. I'd love to check something like that out. That's very cool.
Yeah. And from that
Wow.
quantum reading, we'll be able to find out exactly where the problem lies.
Wow.
Right?
Okay.
We'll know what's the cause of the paralyzed.
Okay.
Well, I don't know how you say that in past tense,
Yeah.
but
I don't
um, and his
paralysis.
blindness,
I don't
and then
know.
we'll be
Yeah.
able to figure out how to go about fixing it.
Okay.
But it's incredible technology, and it just proves that this place isn't what we've been told. We're not what we've been told and what we've been taught. We are
Okay.
so much more. We are so much more. We are gods, and we don't even know it. Even
Okay.
Jesus said, "Ye are gods, and you do not know it. As I do these things, so you shall too, and greater."
Yep.
Okay. So we've been fooled into believing that we are nothing, that we have no power, that we have no abilities, that we're all separate, that we're separate from the animals on this planet, we're separate from the planet itself, and we're separate from one another. And
Yeah.
all of that is a lie. We are all one thing. You are me, I am you. I would never do anything to harm you, steal from you, because that's the same thing as harming and stealing from myself. And that's if the world accepted that attitude and that
Yeah. Yeah.
ideal, we would be in a lot better place, right? Why would I do
I
things to
agree.
you? You are
Yeah.
me,
Yeah.
right? When we all die and we leave here and we go back to where we came from, we're going to realize, like, oh shit,
Yeah.
sorry,
Yeah.
I didn't
I,
realize who
I've
I was.
always, yeah, I've always, my family's Mexican, so I grew up Catholic, and but I don't know if that's the biggest influence, but yeah, I've always been, it's kind of like a karma thing. I'm always really nice to everybody, and yeah, I mean, not everybody's like that. There's
No,
some
not everybody's
craziness
like
out there.
that.
Yeah, some
And that's
craziness
part of
out
the
there.
duality, right?
Yeah.
That's part of the duality
Okay. Okay.
because the
That makes
people that are
sense.
ruling this planet right now are in service to self, right? They're seeking God through service to self.
Okay.
They're selfish, they're greedy, they want to enslave the population, take control, and you can find God that way. In my opinion, you can find God that way. You can
Uh-huh.
advance, but the other way is service to others,
That's the way.
right? Which takes a lot less effort than service to self.
Okay.
When you serve each other and you serve humanity,
Yeah.
then that, in my opinion, is a much better avenue towards the creator than service to self.
Yeah, man. I think it's. I agree 100%. Yeah, I've always thought that way, and yeah, sometimes you get burned here and there, but it just seems to be, sometimes bad things happen, and we just try to take it in stride and still
Bad
just be
things
nice
always
to
happen,
people.
dude.
Just be
That's
nice.
just
Yeah.
the way it is.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
almost like the more good you do, the
Yeah.
more bad that happens to you.
Don't tell my wife that, man. She tells me that all the
And
time.
so does mine. For
Yeah.
2 decades, my
Yeah.
wife has been trying to get me to stop helping people.
Stop being nice to everybody.
Yeah.
They're taking
Every
advantage
time
of
you
you.
reach out, you help somebody, and you go out of your way, you get burned. Stop. I'm
Happens
like,
a lot.
I can't stop. That's a
Yeah.
reflection of them, not on me.
Yeah.
I'm
I
not going to
agree.
stop helping people.
I agree, and I'm glad that you brought that up because that's one of the things that I'm always I'm always in trouble for. Is like, why did you help them? They always rip you off. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's just what we should do.
that's right. It
It's
is what we
crazy.
should do.
Yeah.
In my presentation for the Zenith Society, I say that we're creating a structure that's going to help people,
Okay.
and it's almost like a charity.
Yeah.
Okay, except I don't really like the word charity. Right?
Okay.
Charity kind of means that we've done something above and beyond the normal.
Okay.
Right? That
Yeah.
we've become charitable and we've given to something. Well,
Yeah.
I don't think that that should be something extra and above and beyond normal. I think
Okay.
helping another human being is something that's inherent within all of us. And that
Okay.
is something that we should just naturally do with no
I agree.
expectation of return,
I agree. I agree
right?
100%. Yeah.
And that's what we're all about. So I mentioned at the beginning of this, I was trying to create platforms for the last 5 years that help the average person. You know,
Okay.
people join opportunity after opportunity after opportunity, and it's like 2 or 3% of the people that make all the money,
Yeah.
right? And
Yes.
everybody else, they donate to the cause. They buy
Yeah.
these expensive monthly auto ships or blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah.
You're not
Well,
active
I
unless you
hate
auto
that.
ship. Yeah.
Yeah, I hate
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Me too.
So I've been on a mission to create things where anybody could join and they're going to make some money no matter their efforts, no matter what happens, no matter how successful they are or unsuccessful they are, if they never even open their mouth, right?
That's
We
great.
want to really put money into people's pockets so they can feed their family, they can think clearly. We believe we need an army of people on our mission of changing the world, healing
Okay.
the planet, doing good for humanity. The more people we have, the harder it's going to be for them to shut us down. And they will want to shut us down. Okay. You
Sure.
don't just go out and do these types of things without any opposition. Okay. So they will want to shut us down. So we need millions and millions and millions of people on board with us, little
Yeah.
soldiers carrying our message and tapped
Okay.
into the things that we're doing. And we think the best way to get people to pay attention and to listen is to put money in their pocket. Because
Yeah.
if you're struggling every single day just to
Exactly.
make ends meet, take care of your family, work both jobs, you
Yeah.
don't have time to even look up from your little bubble to see that your
Yeah.
neighbor is also struggling.
It's head
Everybody
down.
is struggling.
Yeah. It's head
Everybody
down.
needs help.
Get it done. Take care of my family, and then you
That's
look
it.
up, and it's over. Right. Yeah. Yeah.
That's it. So if we can start putting money into people's pockets and they
Yeah.
can start lifting their head from the morass that
Yeah.
they've been in, and they can start looking around and seeing that, my God, there is something that we can do to help people, then maybe they will listen to our message and maybe they will join forces with us.
I love
All
it.
you need to do is love other people, right? And think that humanity does have hope
Yeah.
and there are ways to improve this planet and to improve people's lives without taking, without hoarding, without being greedy, then you
Yeah.
should come be a part with us because
I love it.
we're going to blow this thing out of the water.
I'm
And we are
excited.
going to we're going to funnel money into the system once it's released. And people are going to be like, oh my God, like I joined this thing 3 days ago. I've made $300 already. And I
That's
didn't
beautiful.
do anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. And so we're going to be layering all this healing technology. We're going to be layering all these different things that you're going to be able to tap into.
Yeah.
Right. You're going to pay a one-time fee. And all of a sudden, maybe in 3 months, you get one of these terahertz wands in the mail.
Okay.
Okay. This is another healing technology using terahertz, scalar
Okay.
waves, and heat. Okay. This thing is amazing. I talked to a gentleman that's given away about 100 of these to the sickest people that he could find on Facebook.
Okay.
And he said,
Wow.
Tim, it didn't
Wow.
just help one or two of them, it helped all of them, no matter their condition. Some
Okay.
of them were on their deathbeds, like literally laying in the hospital, waiting to die when they sent them one of these and they started using it and it brought them back.
Wow. That's
Okay.
I
This is
love
the
that.
most affordable piece of technology that we have. A Sansa is about $16,000.
Okay. Okay.
You can get one of these for a few hundred.
Oh, okay. That's more
Right?
affordable for
So
sure.
it's
I like that.
much more
Okay.
affordable. And I
Okay.
use this. So
Okay.
I have a friend using my Sansa machine right now, right? His wife has Crohn's and
Okay.
I wanted him to treat her. So he's been using it. And I hadn't used this in a few weeks since I had my Sansa. This
Okay.
last weekend, I helped my wife at a farmer's market type of an
Yeah. I
event.
remember
She
you
sells a lot
mentioning.
of dog stuff.
Yeah.
So Saturday was like a 15-hour day on her feet. And
Okay.
Friday was like a 9 or 10-hour day. And
Okay.
both of our feet hurt. Right.
I know the
So
feeling. Yeah.
I came home Friday night and I used the wand on my feet and it felt really good.
Okay.
I used the wand on her feet because she was too lazy to do it herself.
Yeah.
Actually, her knees hurt so bad she couldn't bend her legs to
Okay.
get the wand on her feet. So I
Okay.
sat on the floor and I wanded it for her.
Wow. Beautiful. Okay.
So woke up the next morning. She wasn't expecting to be able to like stand right away.
Yeah.
She actually said that she got up in bed and she braced herself for standing up.
Okay.
And there was almost no pain.
Wow.
Like for both
Amazing.
of us. This thing is amazing.
Okay. I love
So
that. Oh, I definitely have to get one of
we're going to
those.
work it into where at some point in time,
Yeah.
you're going to get one of these just by
Um,
joining us and just by
okay.
going through our process.
I love it.
Um,
I love it.
you're going to get that. And we want to help people.
I
And,
think
and,
it's
and
great.
we want to help people to the point where, like, we're not looking to make money off the backs of people. I hate that more than anything.
Yeah.
I
I
have a
know.
lot of friends that have been
Yeah.
following me for a long time, and they struggle paycheck to paycheck,
I know a lot of
or
people.
they're on Social
Well,
Security, fixed income. And I just hate it when they have to come out of pocket for something when I know they can't afford it, but yet they
yeah.
have to do something in order to supplement what they have because they can't
Yeah.
get by
Yeah.
on that
Yeah.
alone.
Yeah.
So we really want to give to people
Yeah.
without the people really having to give back to us, because that
Okay.
that doesn't ever really happen, right?
Yeah.
That doesn't happen. You can't give
Definitely
to
doesn't.
people unless they're giving to you. And
People
usually
are,
they
yeah.
give more than anybody else gets. Well, with all of our massive projects and technologies that we have, the
Okay.
money's going to be coming from someplace else. It's an
Yep.
outside source. And we're just going to funnel a certain percentage of it into our system to
Love it.
pay people.
Yeah. I think
So
it's
it's
great.
not coming from the backs of you and me and your neighbor and, people retired and on Social Security. It's
Yeah.
going to be coming from nation states. It's going to be coming from gold and oil and gas
Okay.
and
It's great.
manufacturing, right?
No,
It's going to
it's
be
great.
coming from real world assets that's going to be flowing into our system.
I love that, man. I'm excited for it. Like I said, I'm all in for all of it. If you ever need me for anything, let me know. I've got one last question. Part of this is going to fund something called Camp Last Hope, right?
Yes.
So just maybe let's touch on Camp Last Hope a little bit
Okay.
before we call it. Yeah, please.
So we're going to be creating Camp Last Hopes. So the system that we're going to be building out is maybe familiar to some of your listeners. It's like an MLM type of structure,
Uh huh.
a cycler program where you kind of move from board to board to board, except all those are flawed. None of them work. So we've completely redesigned it, okay,
Okay.
for it to actually work. And we are going to be raising money for something we call Camp Last Hope.
Yes.
Camp Last Hope is kind of just like it sounds, right? We're going to be buying campgrounds or different places like that in the US and other parts of the world. And this is going to be a place for our members to go when shit hits the fan, if shit
Yeah.
hits the fan, right?
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
US and the Western world is in serious decline.
Yeah.
Serious decline. Things are going to happen and people aren't going to have any place to go.
It's
So they're going to be
crazy.
able to come to Camp Last Hope. We're going to have food, fuel, clean water, place to stay. And while everything is good, there's going to be a revenue center,
Okay.
right? We're going to use it as like a campground. So it's going to be generating revenue that we can pump back into the system to
Yeah.
pay people.
Okay.
And then our members, once they reach a certain rank within our system,
Yep.
if they choose, they're going to be able to go and live and operate a Camp Last Hope.
It's cool.
So
Okay.
the system that we're building out right now has 30 levels that
Okay.
you move through.
Okay.
Some of those levels include doing 40 hours of volunteer work in your community,
Okay.
right? Doing 10 acts of kindness,
Okay.
becoming a coach with us and talking to people.
Okay.
And you just
Sounds
move your
great.
way through. And once you
Okay.
get to a certain spot, you'll be offered the opportunity to live and run a Camp Last Hope
Beautiful.
if you
That sounds
choose.
great. That sounds great, man. I love that. I love all the stuff that's coming together, and it all started from a play to earn video game. That's
Yeah, right.
amazing. Yeah, it's pretty
Yeah,
amazing.
it,
Yeah,
it really is.
yeah.
It really is amazing. So you never know where things are going to go. Every day, a new door opens for us. Every day, a
Uh,
new technology lands in our lap, and every day, a new funding source appears.
I'm excited to hear how you do on your flight to Africa.
Yeah, thanks.
It's a long one. It's a long
Kyle
one. Yeah.
just got back from a 20-hour
Did
flight,
he?
and then he
Okay.
was getting harassed by customs.
Oh, yeah.
Where'd you go? Who'd you talk to? What'd you do? Kyle says, it's none of your business. That
Yeah,
depends on.
that happened to me one of the times I went back home. What are you doing in Taiwan? I'm just like thinking to myself, where can they possibly deport me to? Like I'm
Yeah, right.
Canadian. Like what what's going on here? We might have to check your luggage. Go
Yeah,
for
they
it. I
did.
mean,
They checked his
what's going
luggage,
on?
and like the cop that they assigned to him told him, Kyle said, "This guy was asking me all these questions," and the cop was like, "You don't have to tell him anything."
Yeah.
He's like, "I know, so I didn't." And now they're just going through all my stuff.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy
It's
how
what
that
you need
works.
after a 20-hour flight back from
Oof.
Africa to
That's a long,
Jersey.
that's even longer than the ones that I've done, man. Hopefully I'm
Dude, I'm
getting
on
back
it
this
so
summer.
good.
This is the
I'm
plan, is this summer I got to get back and visit the family. Yeah, beautiful, man.
yeah.
So, brother, I appreciate it. For any of you guys that are watching right now, if you're interested, in the description below, we've got a link to the Facebook page. Is there a better link that I should share as well, Tim?
No, not right now.
Okay. Okay.
Right now, that's what we've got.
Okay.
We had something else built out, but it wasn't very functional.
Okay. Okay.
So
So,
we're
yeah.
going to be building something new out this week for people.
Okay.
But the Facebook page is a great place to start because
Okay.
that's where we're putting all the information. And if anybody wants to reach out,
Beautiful.
they're welcome to.
Okay. Sounds good. So that's already in the description below. Thanks, Tim. I appreciate it. I've been wanting to get you on for a long time, and I'm glad that we waited until now because so much is happening. I'm
Yeah,
excited.
yeah, me
Yeah.
too. Yeah, thanks, Eddie. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you, brother. Thank you guys for watching. Do you have anything you want to say before we cut it, my man, Tim?
No, I don't think so, man.
All right. All right.
I
You
think
got
we
it all.
covered everything pretty well. So
Beautiful. Okay, man. Thank you guys for watching, and we will see you guys next week. Bye bye.